We're joined now by Brian Hamilton, CEO of Sageworks. It's a financial analysis firm for privately held companies. What does the job report today tell you?
It tells me we are stuck in the muck. There's no question about it. If you listen to President Obama or Mitt Romney for that matter, of course they obviously have different takes, but there's no question. If you look over the last year, or, now we're looking at, 18 months or a long period of time, we are stuck at this 8.2, 8.1, 8.3%. We need to get out of it.
Your terminology is perfect, stuck in the muck, because it really does feel like our car is in the mud and we can't rock it out. There is nothing that we can do. Now, the one way you get out of mud is you jam a couple of planks under your tire and shove, and boom, it goes out. What do you see as that plank that's going to get us out? Is there anything out there in the next 12 to 24 months?
Okay, so I don't want to give too long of an answer to this. Just let's step back. Okay, first of all, private companies, which provide the vast majority of jobs, are doing well. That's the paradox. We haven't seen this in 80 years. The revenues are up, the profits are up, the margins are up. So what you've got to look to is externalities, right? It's not the financial conditions, Michael. It's the externalities. There's something happening that's making them nervous. Now, you could say, if you wanted to diminish them, you could say, well, they're a bunch of nervous Nellies, and why aren't they hiring? We could blame these people who are not hiring people, but I don't think we should do that. What we really have to do is look toward externalities, things outside of the financial conditions of these companies that are causing people to be nervous and not hire. And really, in this specific case, I know it's popular to blame Washington for everything, but in this case, I really do think there's some blame in Washington, because whether it's tax policy or health care, which, hallelujah, that's behind us now, at least that issue's behind us, there's always these things that people do not get along about in Washington. Even the national debt, that's as you know, that's a looming huge issue. And so it's created this uncertainty, and I really think that's the problem.
We're talking with Brian Hamilton, CEO of Sageworks. That's a financial analysis firm for privately held companies. We need to break it down, too. First of all, for somebody to hire, they've got to feel confidence, not kind of like a crossing your fingers and jumping off the diving board. You got to feel confidence. And if all of a sudden there's a dip in the economy that's even worse, you've spent money and time training somebody. You got to pay them out. It costs money even if you got to fire somebody.
Right. Now, yes, that's true, no question. But that's always been true. So really, I don't want to be depressing today. It's Friday, and in Raleigh, it's 101 degrees, by the way.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So I don't want to be depressing about it. But here's the thing. We haven't seen this, though, Michael. That's the thing that's amazing, since literally the Great Depression, where the economy is doing pretty well. It's actually true what the president said. It's amazing. It actually is true. GDP is growing. Private companies are growing. Interest rates are low. Banks are not going to pay you to borrow money. Inflation is, relatively under control. The national debt's an issue, but really, the only time that I can think of where this has occurred, where we've had growth but no jobs, is in the early 70s, and even then, it only lasted for 33 months. We're into 38 months. So there's this anxiety, and really, the only thing that we can say about that at Sageworks is that it's really attributable to the fact that the folks in Washington just don't play nicely together in the sandbox. And I think that is definitely different now from where it was 30 and 40 years ago. So here's how we bring this home. If you're running a company, even if there's a bad policy out there, if you have enough time to plan for your business, it's not good, but it's okay. The issue right here is that because the Republicans and Democrats aren't getting together, they're debating to the last minute. Then they make a policy change, and the businesses don't have enough time to plan. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
They just need more. They need more run room at the airport. They've got to be able to plan for their businesses. So we really believe that the political environment is the one externality that we can point to that is probably creating uncertainty. And we really have got to come together as a nation to really solve that,
Brian Hamilton, CEO of Sageworks, financial analysis firm for privately held companies. His advice to Washington: let's play and work together just a little bit better. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks a lot, Michael.